My name's Ruth Wilson from Architectus, and I'm here with Peter Malat from 6 Degrees, and who are our collaborators on this project, and my colleague Jaden Peacock, who was project architect. Am I sharing the right screen, Jay?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, great. So we start with an acknowledgement of country, acknowledging all the countries we meet on today and the lands of the Dja Dja Wurrung, where this project is located. We pay respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. In 2018, Bendigo Kangan Institute was successful in obtaining funding for a $60 million revitalisation for their campus. The campus is situated on the edge of Bendigo CBD. It is the site of the original School of Mines developed during the mid-1800s gold rush. Two significant heritage buildings remain on site, and a third one from the 1920s is considered important as the former technical school. A master plan which divested the western portion of the campus had underpinned the business case. This blue zone is now the site of the new Bendigo Law Courts, which is nearing completion. The community zone in green encompasses the historic former Mechanics Institute and Free Library and is yet to be redeveloped. And the education zone in red is the subject of this presentation. So the master plan had suggested a single large 4-level building enveloping the former tech school and connecting to E with a large open green space facing the busy Chapel Street. As expensive constraints became known to us during the early design phases, which included an IT hub that served all of Bendigo TAFE and a couple of prisons and a main town sewer that crossed the site, we explored some alternative arrangements. And also, as we got to know the diverse students, which range from hair and beauty, hospitality, creative arts, through to work ed, VCAL and adult migrant English, we never saw any of them use this big open space. They would huddle around the edges in their cohort groupings or not hang around campus at all. So we headed to a much finer grain approach, yielding an interesting array of more intimate and protected outdoor spaces, allowing cohorts to identify strongly and take pride in their parts of the campus. So it's a campus of separate buildings, both old and new. And here you can see the location of G and J. Simon Bliss Landscape Architects conceived the landscape approach, which explores the fact that Greater Bendigo region has been changed forever by the gold rush, by agriculture, and by the continued evolution of urbanisation. The Dja Dja Wurrung are the original inhabitants of the region and refer to the area as upside down country, reflecting the dramatic alteration of the landscape by mining. But the natural environment is powerful and lasting, and if left to its own devices, over time it will reclaim even the most altered landscape. The landscape strategy accelerates this reversal. It turns these past remnants upside down and allows Indigenous planting to come back, repair, and perhaps evolve into a more prominent and lasting version of its hidden past. The Jewel in the Landscape is a 6 seasons calendar built by the Dja Dja Wurrung in collaboration with the design team. It talks of country. It is a place to educate visitors and is a focal point for the TAFE Indigenous Studies cohort. So we're going to take you through the buildings quickly now. I'm going to hand over to Jay, who will take us through the 2 new buildings.
Thank you, Ruth. So building G houses the hair and beauty as well as the learning hub. It takes cues from its neighbours. Heritage Victoria wanted to see a solid building with punched windows, whilst Bendigo TAFE wanted an open, welcoming building that really put learning on display. The building appears more solid when viewed obliquely and opens up upon approach. The showcase windows show the public the training that is happening inside. Study showing the building form, emphasising entry, rotation of building program, and the connection the building G plays with heritage buildings E and H. So providing access and servicing to both those buildings. And then a contextual response on the street facade. The hair and barber salons face the street with clear shop front windows, and this is a view from inside the campus. A central atrium links all learning spaces, lit from above, with the Jar Jar Wrong's Wise Crow Wah guiding students through the building. This is an artwork by the First Nations artist Mandy Nicholson. Next up is Building J. On Chapel Street, this houses foundation studies in VCAL. A range of reconfigurable classrooms. This building is a rational, repeated grid and general floor-to-floor heights that allow for adoption of the building over the decades. It also houses special programs. This is the Life Skills Lab, where special needs students come in and learn skills for independent living. WA guides students through the campus in this direction and is also visible from the inside of the building. This is a view from inside of the campus and showcasing the active rooftop dedicated for VCAL students and events. I'll now hand over to Peter to take us through the heritage and adaptive reuse buildings.
Thank you, Jay. The first heritage building is Building E, the former School of Mines, now housing hospitality and the Industry Innovation Centre. The building was in very unloved and underutilised condition. And now it's a hub of activity with a cafe to Hargrave Street and a bakery selling hospitality student wares to the public. The training kitchens have been inserted within the heritage fabric. And this is a view of a connecting element which joins the two levels of that building together. And a view of that element on the south, which is the restaurant part of the development.
1 minute remaining.
This is a services annex to that building, which also houses the substation for the whole site. And a view inside the campus. The new trees are very small, but they have been grown from rare Indigenous seed stock. So that's something work in progress. Moving to Building H, the building had good bones, but did not provide equal access and was in poor condition. It now houses staff spaces, directorate, and to Building P finally, a much lighter touch on this renovation, here showing the digital learning commons on the ground floor. In summary, woven into the history of Bendigo, the new city campus celebrates TAFE's industrial heritage and champions its ongoing contribution to the region's prosperity. It communicates to prospective students, industry partners, and the broader community that Bendigo TAFE is an industry-focused, future-focused, and approachable and inspiring place to learn.